Okay, friends, the sun is shining. We got our beach towel. Now, let's all go down to the beach with our friends Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, and more at when we go into a day at the beach. Come on, boys, let's go, Mickey said. He and Minnie had planned a big surprise for Mickey's nephews, Morty and Freddie. Are we going to play ball? Morty guessed. Or maybe fly a kite? Asked Freddie. Even better, we're going to spend the whole day at the beach, Mickey announced. Hooray! The boys cheered. Pluto was so excited that he started chasing his tail. There was a lot to do to get ready for a day at the beach. Minnie used her bows to make a new tail for the boys' kite while Mickey blew up the beach ball. Morty and Freddie gathered the sunblock, the beach towels, and all of their toys. Of course. There's just one more thing we have to do before we leave, Minnie said. Pack our picnic. Minnie and Mickey helped the boys make their favorite sandwiches. Then everyone worked together to fill the picnic basket with yummy things to eat. Whoops, we can't forget treats for Pluto, Minnie giggled as she added a bone to the picnic basket. When they got to the beach, Morty and Freddie helped Mickey and Minnie unload the car. Finally, everything was set up. Last one in the ocean is a rotten barnacle, Mickey called. Mickey and the boys splashed in the ocean. Pluto joined in on the fun too, until he got distracted by a crab. Meanwhile, Minnie spread out the picnic blanket and opened the basket. Lunch is ready, she called to the boys. Morty raced out of the water and grabbed his sandwich. The smell of cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes made his mouth water. He was about to take a big bite when suddenly, whoosh! His sandwich disappeared. Hey, Freddie yelled, that seagull stole your sandwich. Oh, what a silly, silly seagull. My sandwich, Morty howled. I'm sorry, Morty, Minnie replied. Luckily, we have lots of other food to share. But Morty just shook his head. That was my favorite sandwich, though, he said sadly. Freddie tugged on Mickey's arm. Come on, Uncle Mickey, he said. Let's rescue Morty's sandwich. I guess it's worth a try, Mickey said. Follow that goal. Pluto and I will stay here and guard the rest of our picnic, Minnie said. Good luck. The seagull swooped through the sky, casting a shadow over the sand. Mickey, Morty, and Freddie charged after it. Near the water, Goofy was building his village of sandcastles. Hiya, Mickey, Goofy called. Where are you going in such a hurry? We're on a sandwich rescue mission, Mickey replied as he ran past his friend. A little further down the beach, Donald and Daisy were flying kites with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. In the sky, the seagull zigged and zagged through the kite strings, but down on the sand it was a little harder for Mickey and his nephews to get past them. Be careful, cried Daisy. Yeah, and watch out for the strings, Donald added. And the sand, Huey yelled, shielding his eyes as Mickey and his nephews kicked up loads of sand. Look, boys, Mickey called. The seagull is headed for the cliffs. The seagull glided effortlessly on the ocean breeze. Below, Mickey, Morty, and Freddie made their way across the tide pools to reach the cliffs. The wet sand slowed them down, squishing and squelching under their feet. Mickey and his nephews tiptoed through the water, careful to avoid stepping on starfish, clams, and other sea urchins. They reached the cliffs just as the seagull disappeared over the rocky ledge. Do you think we're gonna get the sandwich back? The seagull disappeared. Mickey, Morty, and Freddie stared up at the cliff. It seemed very high. What do we do now, Uncle Mickey? Freddie asked. Well, Mickey said, we can go back to Minnie and Pluto and enjoy the rest of our picnic. Or we can climb up that cliff and keep searching for that seagull. What would you do right now? Would you go back to the picnic, or would you climb the cliff? What would you do? That sounds like a good idea. Let's go see what our friends Mickey, Morty, and Freddie would do. Let's climb, Morty replied. By then, he was so hungry he could practically taste his favorite sandwich. He couldn't wait to get it back. Inch by inch and step by step, Mickey and his nephew scaled the rocky cliff. It was even harder than dodging the sand castles, slipping through the kite strings, and crossing the tide pools. Finally, they reached the top of the tallest ridge. Hold on a minute, boys, Mickey whispered. Before we climb over the edge, we need a plan. I've already got one, Morty said. As soon as I see that seagull, I'm going to swoop in and snatch my sandwich, just like it did to me. Morty hoisted himself up to the edge of the cliff and froze. The seagull and the sandwich were just inches from Morty's face, but the seagull wasn't alone. It was perched on the side of a grassy nest next to 3 baby seagulls. From the way the chicks were squawking, Morty could tell they were just as hungry as he was, and maybe even hungrier. Morty watched for a moment as the seagull tossed bits of his sandwich to her babies. Then he began to climb back down the cliff to where Mickey and Freddie were waiting. The seagull needed the sandwich more than he did. The seagull is feeding her babies. Back on the beach, Morty told Minnie and Pluto all about the baby seagulls sharing his sandwich. What an adventure, Minnie exclaimed. But don't worry, Morty. We still have lots of food in our picnic basket. Here, I packed an extra roll, and you can have the cheese from my sandwich. Take my pickle, Mickey offered. And my tomato, Freddie added. Thanks, everybody, Morty said. He grinned as he took a bite of his brand new sandwich. It tasted even better than it looked. The end. Wow, that's quite the special day at the beach. Whew, they went on such an adventure, climbing cliffs, chasing seagulls, marching through the sea. And even though Morty didn't get his sandwich back, he saw that it was being used for others, right? And even then, Minnie, Mickey, and Freddie were able to share what they had from their sandwich with Morty. Wow, what special day. Well, friends, that's all the time we have for right now, but you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.